Florida police are searching for this missing school teacher from the Daytona Beach area.
Reported missing in October of 2020 when he didn't show up to Creekside Middle School for work.
It has been nearly a year and a half since a Port Orange man and beloved school teacher disappeared.
Tonight, the search to find a teacher is going cold.
Well, also developing right now, a body has been found in the car belonging to a Port Orange teacher.
Welcome back. We're going to be taking a look at a case out of Port Orange, Florida. The case involves a missing teacher that vanished in October of 2020. The police department said that they believe he lost control of his vehicle on Pioneer Trail. If you have a strange feeling about that and can't believe that that occurred, you're not alone. After posting my opposition to their claims that he lost control, several people reached out to me by phone and direct messenger. So I decided to take a look at the area. I fired up my drone and got out on foot to see this area. Now, to give you some insight on my history in law enforcement, I did crash investigations, and that's why this is not sitting well with me. The first thing that I want to bring your attention to is the tree line in the area. This area is covered with trees and fences. Through a historical Google Street View search, those fences were there in 2019 and 2022. A friend of mine spoke to the ranch owner, and he has done no repairs, and he finds this suspicious also.
Why do you suspect something strange is going on?
It's a working ranch.
But you would have noticed stuff out.
You're gonna see, I'm not putting two and two together.
If you look in the left-hand corner of the screen as I zoom in, that is where the vehicle was recovered. And on this top-down view, just to the right of the little land bridge, nearly in the middle of the screen, there's a tree that's leaned over, and it's been there for years. As we take a little bit closer look, you'll see the land bridge nearly in the middle of the screen, and as the view unfolds, the tree leaned over the waterway. Where the tire tracks are visible in the video, that is where the vehicle was pulled out from. If you look on the right side of the screen, you'll still see the fence intact. The ranch owner did not discover any damage and hasn't done any repairs. Now, one probable location that would gain entry to this property is right here where there's a gap in the tree line. I flew the drone in relatively a straight line. With loss of control crashes, you'll generally go off on a tangent to the last point of traction. It's generally a pretty straight line unless you regain traction. This scenario would put the vehicle in the opposite side of the ditch, facing the opposite direction in which it was found. This is still water and doesn't have any current or tide. You can see there in the video, that's where that tree's leaned over and the vehicle is at rest. With this scenario, I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around it because there's minimal damage to the vehicle. As you see here from this photograph, there's some damage to the rear bumper and some damage to the front. Also, the windshield is cracked. So this is the only plausible location where it could enter in. However, the fence is still intact. And as you come off of this road, as this car comes around, you can see that the embankment, if I were to straighten this out to the angle, that is the angle down and into a ditch. The car would come off of here, nosedive, and boom, impact this berm over here. This is all a berm that is not going to let a vehicle pass this unless it's exceeding well over 100 miles an hour to clear this road and launch over that. And then when it lands, you would have car parts like this everywhere, because it's going to rip that whole front bumper off. When it launches off of a road like this, the tendency for the car, the last point of contact, now it is falling, gravity's pulling on it and impacting downward. That's why the Dukes of Hazzard cars, when that TV show was around, they had so many stunt vehicles. Fence is intact over here. Now this section over here looks like a bunch of car parts where someone tried to come in. It's a maroon colored car. You can see that's the spot where a lot of pieces and parts were there. This is another part that's here. Here's some headlights. So not too sure what these are. These look like aftermarket headlights, possibly. And these headlights are for a Mazda 6. Same thing close to the car. This fence is essentially still intact. This, if a car drove through this, it would rip that post down right there. But even if he did lose control here, he would have to clear that berm, clear this fence without taking any of these posts out, make it through here with no damage into the water, flip around, and drift with no current all the way back there, another 100 yards or so. Now from the opposite direction, coming from a probable direction of where he was leaving his home from, there's just too many trees and too much debris here. And also the fence is intact. Sometime after the incident, several teachers came forward wanting to help with the search, but Port Orange Police Department did not want them assisting with any search. On both instances where vehicles were found during a search, they were found by civilians.
We've had several requests from teacher groups and other groups in the community with regard to searches, so we prefer that our detectives handle the investigation as opposed to civilians being in the area.
The city erred in this warning, preventing potential for fresher evidence to be discovered. If a whole community is searching for someone, the chances are they could have found the vehicle within days or weeks. Instead, more than likely when the discovery was found, there is nothing but bones inside of the vehicle. No soft tissue for the medical examiner to make any determination if foul play was made. Instead, the city is chalking up to loss of control, and after you watch this video, if you can still believe that, just let me know. I will have a part 2 for this video here, covering why I think the windshield was cracked, and also once I get a copy of the report. I want to find out more details.